All right, folks, good morning and welcome to the coffee run. A little late start today because we had a good run on the other show. The Daily Paycheck, we had an okay run, which took a little minute, and I got done that show at 8:05, had to get over here and get things set up. So we're late start, but we're here. Unlike yesterday where I overslept. If you guys were paying attention, yesterday there was no shows because I let my phone run out of charge and never got an alarm to go off. So anyway, overslept yesterday. Here we are today for reals. And let's get after it. Might be a short show, might be a long show. I don't know what's going to happen today. It's Friday. I have no plans. Fridays, I typically don't have any plan at all. I just want to come in here and bullshit with y'all. So if you guys have things you want to talk about, put them in chat. Give me a little PC in front of it. Put them in chat. I'll be reading chat the whole time here. Otherwise, I'm just going to just talk about random shit. So that's kind of how it goes. Let's get to the slides though. Let's go over here. I'm going to go not there. I'm going to go here. I want to go to this screen here and show you my notes. Today was Friday Follies for sure, man. And we had fun this morning. I put up here again, pray for Florida, Georgia. I mean, that was a big hurricane. Hit as a 4, I think, up near Jacksonville. And just like, I mean, God, my wife and I so my mom lives on the East Coast. So does my sister. My sister lives on the East Coast. They live in Tampa, St. Pete. So they had a skedaddle. They all had to get out of there. They're all making their way back today and tomorrow. My mom stayed actually in Naples. She didn't leave. My sister left. I know that the guys that I work with for my day job are all based in Tampa, St. Pete, Jacksonville, and Atlanta. That's like the hub for everybody works. So I'm hoping everybody's okay. I know everybody lost power, so there's no way to tell, So hopefully things are good with them. But yeah, we nerded out last night. My wife and I watched all the coverage, and it's almost like, what's the word? Sad is the wrong word to use, but like the Weather Channel people get so excited when there's a hurricane. Like, I'm looking at that going, oh my God, this is going to cost me. I'm practical John, right? It's going to cost. People are going to lose their houses, right? All that. And they're all like, woohoo, we get to hang out and try and fight the wind, right? They're such nerds. Oh my God, it's crazy town. But anyway, we watched it last night, and my wife kept saying to me, now, if you're in chat, you've probably experienced something like this, right? And it's like, she says to me, how can you not get out of the way? And like, we watched a bunch of videos last night on that tsunami from like the one that hit Thailand and the one that hit Indonesia. She's like, what's coming. How can you not get out of the way? And I'm like, they don't know what's coming. Like, you don't know it's coming. Earthquake out in the ocean. They didn't know. They had like 10 minutes of like you can't get out of the damn way. And we watched all these videos and like, holy crap, don't piss nature off, man. Mother Nature's a bitch. I mean, you're not going to get out of the way, and the hurricanes are bad. So anyway, I've been through a couple of them, and it's like, oof, thank God I live in Washington, where the worst thing I got to face over here is a dam breaking, right? Yeah, JR says, right, treasure your family. They are irreplaceable, 100%. Dice Dr. Dan, I did not see your PC on the Folly Show. So if you want to repost it here, you can, and we'll talk about it here. But I don't see it over there. It takes a full day to get the chats to replay, believe it or not. So yeah, if you have something, let me know here in chat. Okay, so the Craft for the Cure stuff is this. The updates are these. I've been talking to a lot of people. Yesterday, I spent some quality time on the phone. I talked to Bo Parker yesterday. I talked to Heavy Haltom yesterday. And working with Garrison. By the way, I'm not sure if you've seen this. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull this up for you. I want you to see something because this is actually really, really freaking cool. Let me go here. Give me a second. I gotta find the note. So give me a second to find it. And then I'll pull it up for you guys. This is actually really, really awesome. I gotta find hold on. I should have been more prepared here. Let's see. Where is the text? It's between, let's see. Give me a second. I know this is compelling television, right? This is why you tune in to watch me run through shit like this. Where is it? My God. Whenever you need something, you can't find it. Here we go. Okay. Do that. Let's do that. Okay. So first thing I'm going to show you is this. This is what Garrison did for us. So Garrison did a couple things. One is here. So this is the, oh, why can't you see that? Hold on. Oh, you know why? Because you can only see it on the browser view. Okay, so I gotta put that. Hold on, let me put that in the browser. Give me a sec here. Let's put that Yeah. Hold on. I know what I'm doing. I promise I do. I promise I know what I'm doing. This here needs to go to the browser. So can I download it somehow? Hold on. Give me a second. I know this, what you're looking at there is the article. Let's see. If I do this open in preview. Oh, they're open in preview. That's what I want to do. Open in preview. Okay, cool. Then I can save the file to my desktop. Okay, and then I can take this file here. Hold on. Is that the one? No. Hold on. I can do this, guys. I swear I can do this. I'm a technological wizard. Where's my? Hold on. Oh my God, this is such bad television. I can't even. I'm just gonna delete this the minute I get done with it. There. No, that's not it. Where's the freaking thing? Here it is. Okay, this is what's so cool. I'm doing this because it is really pretty cool. Can you see that now? There we go. Let's zoom into that. That's the cover, by the way, of Casino Player Magazine for this month. So look at the top, right up here. Craps for the Cure, right? They wrote an article, which is here, right? A whole page article about the event in the magazine, and we made the cover. So Garrison is a writer, a part-time writer for the magazine, and got the editors to agree to do this for us. So now we've got, look at that. We got front page and then a page 6 article. That's amazing, right? So I got to give Garrison the applause, because that's awesome. That's really that's pretty amazing. And I think people give Garrison a bunch of grief, and I get it. I mean, he kind of, he's an aggressive marketer and all that kind of stuff. And I know that people don't love it, but he has shown up and shown out for the event here. So I appreciate that. And that's going to be really, really big for us. That's going to draw a lot of people in. It should draw a lot of donations in. So pretty cool. That's a big win. That's a big win for the organization and for what we're doing here. So I'm very, very happy and thankful for that. That's the first Crap for the Cure thing. The second thing is this. One of the guests, I was talking yesterday to a couple of the guests that we're gonna have on. So one guest is gonna be Bo Parker, and Bo has said, and he's got the auction item up there. But basically, what he said is anybody who donates $500 is going to get a free seminar with him. So that's how he's going to do it. Anybody who donates $500 goes to the charity. He will give you a seminar. That's as many as people as do it. So if 50 people donate $500, 50 people get to work with Bo. That's essentially saying what he normally would charge for a betting class, give it to the charity and I will work with you. That's what he's doing. So let's get it done, right? Let's get that. That's huge. He's going to spend at least an hour with me. We're going to do I'm going to ask him the questions we asked yesterday. I've got some things planned for him to talk through. He's going to do it on Saturday, and then Sunday's going to come back, and he's going to be me and him and a couple other people. We're going to tell some stories, some craps table stories. So that's going to be a super fun session too. So that's amazing. So it does not mention where the streaming is going to happen because we I don't know why. It has the website on there. The website has the information. So I will link on the website where the stream is. So we're trying to drive people to the website to have one link in the article. That was their thing. They don't want to make it confusing. So one link to the website, everything will be there in the article. And that's how that's going to work. Good question though. Good question. The other thing is this Hardway thing. So I was, we had this show a few weeks back, right? Talking about, not a few weeks, last week, talking about the ATS stuff. And I think we should probably talk through this a little bit. Let's go. I'm going to just kind of run to this screen here. Hold on a second. I'm going to fast forward the scene because really we're just kind of talking about this. Actually, we're not talking about, we're talking about, no, I don't have an ATS screen. We'll just go here for now. Put your questions out there, by the way. So the ATS stuff, I talked to 10 Ton the other day because I listened to the podcast, the what do you call it? The Casino Tours podcast. And of course they went off about the ATS, which is fine. 10 Ton is a huge believer in the ATS. Like it's, and he says a lot of the things that I say are all the same, right? But there's one piece of that where he makes it a positive, I make it a negative, which is why I think he and I get along so well because we can kind of banter back and forth. But I said to you at one point, The ATS is cool, right? But it covers up your losses. Remember that whole conversation? I said, like, it's great when it wins, right? It's awesome when it wins. It'll cover up a loss. And I think with the ATS, two things can happen to you, right? If you're playing it out of your regular bankroll, you buy in for $1,000 and you're playing your stuff. Today's a good example. I bought him for $1,000 and playing 320 across. What if I had lost? Let's pretend. Let's wind that session back. I won, but let's wind the session back and say, what if I lost $450? Let's just say I went 320 across and we burned it. Okay, that sucks. Go out 320 again, get one hit, burn it the second time. 320 the third time, go out there and get about 7 or 8 hits. But your rack is right. You're almost, if you were just doing that, you'd be ahead or you'd be even, right? If that's all you did. But you're playing the ATS, and because you're playing the ATS, you got the world bet. And because you got the world bet, you might even do a little bit of pass line and field, right? So you got the pass line, the world, the field, the AT, all that stuff's going as your come out game, right? And you don't win it. You never hit the ATS today. So for 3 shooters, we burned 5, 10, 5, $5 on the come outs, the Hardways and the world bet. Burned about 20, 40, 60, 75 and 3 pass lines. We would have burned $150. We would have burned $150 today doing a come out play with the ATS, right? And you go, but I won. I lost, and I had this great run and I made all my money back, but I'm still up. Why am I upside down? You're upside down because the ATS took your money. That's why, right? You bleed it out. That can happen. And what happens is the ATS will mask a loss. When it does happen, it can mask a loss or some bad play, which is a positive, but it's also like a false positive. You know what I mean? Like you end up walking away a winner, but like, you know, you got lucky, you got a side bet to do it. That's a way to look at it, right? Also, it can be the reason why you lose and not know it. Like, hey, I won on the box, but I'm still down. Why am I still down? Oh, because I bled away on the ATS, right? So it can be a bleeder of your wins when you're actually having a good roll sometimes, right? Because you bled, a good roll comes out and you didn't really make anything. So it can work both ways. But if you're hitting it and you're hitting it at the big levels, the amounts are life-changing, right? And I think that's what his point is. He's like, my biggest wins have come there. And he kind of attacks it with winning money. Like when he's up, he goes in heavier. He's got a plan for it. So like I said before, if you got a plan to play the ATS, if you got either a separate bankroll for it, or you've got a play style that accounts for that, right? What he says is, hey, let's treat it like it's a giant place bet. Like it's a place bet that pays up, whatever it is, 190 to 1 between all the numbers, right? Think of it that way. It's a place bet that pays that much money, but it almost never hits. And that's how he looks at it. So it's like, hey, my other place bets can cover it, then I'm down. Cool. If you have that mindset going into it, that's fantastic, right? If you have the bankroll to do it, fantastic. Right? If you can afford to go out there at meaningful amounts, fantastic. Most of us, and here's what I said the same, most of us can't, right? Most of us are buying in for 500 or 750. You're buying in at that level, a 555 ATS will bleed you dry. It'll bleed you dry. You don't have enough money to do it. It's just not enough money to play it at even the $5 level because it'll bleed you out. And we were talking, it's like, yeah, I agree. Most people shouldn't do this, right? If you have the money to attack it, or if you're up, he said, look, I won $200 through regular play. I'm switching to ATS guy now. I'm just going to go hammer it with the $200. Different mindset, right? If you use it as an attack, I can understand where your brain could flip and go, I'm going to go after it now. That's the interesting conversation that they didn't have that conversation so much on the casino tiers. He and I had that conversation the other night. And I'm sure if we talked together live, and we will at some point on a show here, we'll have that same conversation. I think that's where it gets to me interesting. Remember we talked last week about like craps being a puzzle that's missing pieces. Like you're never going to get all the pieces in the puzzle, right? And for everybody, they're solving the puzzle a different way, right? Some people's puzzle solving is that. Let's dink, 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 and get half the puzzle done in one move. That's the ATS. You follow me? It's cool. If that's what drives you and that's how you want to play it and you got the bankroll to do it and you have an attack plan, I get it. I'm all down. I just don't want to see guys buying it for 500 and going 555 and wondering where their paycheck went, because that's where it gets dangerous. And I think he and Ed and everybody else would agree. There's levels to play this thing at. And in casinos where they're forcing 555 and a pass line bet, think about that. If they're forcing 555 and a pass line bet, that's $30 at risk, right? Essentially every shooter. come out roll notwithstanding, if you're $500 in the bank and that's all you got, you can't play that. You just can't do it, right? You have to suck it up and be like, I can't afford to play that. Now, dollar, or 121 or 212, fine. $5 up there is okay at $500, but be careful with that. That's the main thing, is be careful with it, right? I think that's where sometimes I say things and I'm like, hard and fast, do not play the ATS. There are times where you can make it work with your bankroll and with your play style. There are times where you simply should not do it. If you're going to just bring money to the casino and drop nickels up there on every single shooter, you can't afford to stay that long. It'll bleed your bankroll out. That's why I'm always so negative, because people just do it as a muscle reflex, right? Can't do that. You can't be reflexive with it and just dump it out there, because you don't have the money to do it. You don't have the backing bankroll to do it. And 2 or 3 PSOs or bad shooters, it doubles your losses up. It's just too much. It's just too much. So, anyway, I think, yeah, Tom, and I'm passionate about it because, again, I have won good money on the ATS. I've hit it, right? I've won other people good money on the ATS. And by the way, you know me and tipping, right? I don't love tipping dealers with bets. I know the dealers like it. They all think that I'm an ass for not doing it. I'm the guy that likes to take, if I win, an $18, or if I win a whatever, let's just say I win a $35 on the 6, I'll take a quarter and drop a nickel to them and put 5 on the hard 6. Like, that's me. I'm giving them money off of my wins, right? I don't want to bet money and have the casino take their tip. Like, that's what I don't want, right? So I'll give them, the change off of my bets. So they're getting their boss's money effectively. I win 35, they get 5. They're taking money out of their boss's pocket, not the other way around. That's how I view that. The ATS, I always bet for them. I've always got 111 for the dealers on the ATS, always, because for $3, that's a bet that actually, when it does come out, they win. And I look at that, like, I've had dealers get paid, hundreds on the ATS before. Ian actually piggybacked me last weekend, and we did it, right? I love doing that for them. That's a great bet for them. They get excited about it. It's always a big high five and everything else. That's kind of cool. Just for the average person every single day, not so good, right? I love this comment. How bad the Cowboys looked last night. Me and Kathy went to, we christened the new bar here in town. We found a bar called the Side Chick Bar, which is great. They got TV. It's better than Buffalo Wild Wings, locally owned here in Wenatchee. So much fun last night, right? Everybody was rooting against the Cowboys. The whole bar. It was fan-freaking-tastic. Like, it was, I know it's not Philly, but it felt like a Philly bar. Like, everybody was hating on the Cowboys all night. It was the best night. It was the best. It was the best, Jerry, the best. They're terrible. The Giants are hot garbage. Both teams are hot garbage, right? But yeah, I love when the Cowboys look bad. Anyway, there it is. Yeah, you did call it. And you actually said he's going to hit it, and you stacked up on that thing for some reason. Anyway, so that's that on the ATS. Now, Jen brought it up, and I'm going to rewind the chat here. So give me a second. The PC, the Hardway, is the same bleeder. You are 100% right. Today I did the Hardways, right? I put $4 out there on the Hardways, and we hit a hard 4 or something, right? Cool. I dropped the $1, pressed them all to $3. Now I'm out $5 on the Hardways, going for a home run. Well, what happened was I only hit one more Hardway. I hit the hard 10 at some point, and all the easy ones, I had to keep putting the money back out there, right? So that $4 investment, technically speaking, Jen, I never invested more than $5. Because I replaced the bets with wins. So I got a win. I took part of my win and put it back to the Hardway. So it didn't cost me anything out of the rack, but it bled away my winnings, right? Those are the things that when you should have won 27, but you only collected 11 because you had to put money back out there again, that's a bleed. Yeah, you put money in your rack, but it's a bleed. And that's what you're reacting to. 100% agree with that. The cool thing about this is, I was talking to Michael Shackelford yesterday. Michael Shackelford, by the way, is the math guru of math gurus. His other business, though, besides being, I don't know what and this is his primary business. He's an author, obviously. But what he does, he gets hired by casinos to evaluate and calculate house edge on games and evaluate playability. He also gets hired by guys like Big AZ, for example, who have come up with an idea for a side bet. And he analyzes the side bet and says, yes, it's viable. You should go. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. You ready for this, everybody? I'm announcing it right now. I talked to Big AZ and I said, hey, look, I've been playing this Hardway parlay thing. I'm not sure what we call it, right? It's a cool idea. It's fun. He's like, it's impossible to hit, but when it hits, it's like this amazing thing. I'm like, yeah, it's 100%, right? I said, do you mind if I ask Michael Shackelford to evaluate it as a side bet, as a real live side bet? So I gave it to Shaq yesterday. He evaluated it. He's doing some math on it. He's going to tell us what the house edge is, what the payout should be on it. We're coming up with like a little pay table for it. Like, how much should you get paid for a $1 bet, for a $1 bet? How much should you get paid if you hit 2 hardways, 3 hardways, 4 hardways, 5, whatever, before the 7? Any hardway, including the 2 and the 12, or unique hardways. You hit the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 10, like it, whatever. He's going to give us all the house edges on those, all of the correct payouts, what they should be, right, for each of those, each version of the side bet. Then, Jen, it won't be so much of a bleed, right? It'll still be a bleed because it's going to be probably a 20% house edge, but you can throw $1 on the any hardway bet, $1 any hardways, or maybe it's $5. Maybe it's like more like a fire bet, $5 any hardways. You don't got to worry about pressing and replacing. The $5 just sits there until the 7 comes, right? And that's it. Maybe it's off on the come out, right? And that's a cool little easy side bet. Imagine that instead of everybody degenning the fucking hardways. Like on the cruise ship where there's no ATS, all you have is 16 people dropping dollars in for the hardways. It's a disaster out there. It takes forever to get the bet set, to get them paid. This way, $5 any hardway. And it pays, you get 4 of them, it pays 1,000 to 1, right? Or whatever it's going to be. So Shackelford is working on what the house edge should be, what the payout should be. We're going to create a pay table for it. It's Big AZ's idea. I'm kind of helping shepherd through that. And if we determine that it's worth it, that'll actually get a thing that might get marketed at some point, right? We might actually run the thing out there. So we're working on that. We got the copyrights. The patents are getting filed already. It's a whole thing. The cool thing is Michael Shackelford is going to do all that analysis with us live on Craps for the Cure. So if I go back a screen, right, during the show, Shackelford is going to run that. I want this one up. Shackelford is going to run the analysis with us, and we're going to run the bets out there during the show. He's going to make the Craps for the Cure, his hour is going to be about that side bet. And AZ is going to be there. We're going to talk through the whole thing, right? It's the same bleed, same house edge, right? The house edge will be a little different, but faster, right? And I'd rather not sit out there like today and say, if I did $5 on it, which is kind of what I did, and had to keep replacing it, I'm not losing out on my wins. I can just let the $5 sit there. So yeah, the $5 will burn all the time, but I'm not going to burn the $5 plus part of my wins when the easy ways come. That's the good part about this bet. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what Shackelford comes up with. If he thinks it's worth it or not, what the payout table is going to look like. But yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. So that's one of these things where like, you never know where these shows or where the chat leads you, right? Like that was a fun idea somebody said that he said, hey, let's try it out. And now we're going to actually talk to Shaq and get it evaluated, right? Would it be cool if that thing worked out? And AZ's like, yeah, go for it, man. Let's see if we can make this thing work. So anyway, that was another kind of thing I wanted to talk about today, because I wanted you to know that like some of these things have legs. Now this may not end up having real legs, but it's cool. It's a cool idea. And, it may speed the game up. It may be a thing in the end that works a lot like the fire bet, where because the payouts have to be so high, because the probability of getting 4 unique hardways is like I think it's 1,200 to 1 or something like that. So that the 4 unique hardways paying 1,000 to 1 is going to generate the paperwork, right? That's going to be a showstopper if somebody actually hits that thing. So they may not work for that reason alone, time-wise, but the 99% of the times that you don't hit the 4 unique hardways, it's going to be actually kind of a cool thing. So side bet city, baby, right? Cool. And I actually know people who have created other side bets, right? And I know people who can get the idea in front of people. So I think this is a community effort. This is a cool thing. So celebrate that, right? Let's on Craps for the Cure, you'll learn more about it, but it's going to be pretty awesome. All right. What else do you guys have? Is there anything else you want to talk about? I have nothing else to rant about. I wanted to talk about the ATS stuff because it's important to me, right? That we frame that in the right thing. There's a few ways to play it and a few players who should and should not play it. It's a very cool thing. Let's see. Nothing else. No PC comments. Wow. Any cues? No questions? Boy, what a boring Friday. There's 31 people here. Nobody wants to talk about nothing. What do you have on your minds? Come on. I got 30 or 20 minutes, or I'm going to stop the show and go take a nap before work. So you tell me what you want to do. You want to talk about stuff or not? Trying to think what else. What else did I want to get through? Let's talk about the Hawks. Okay. The Hawks are. I'm worried about the Hawks this week. We're missing some dudes this week. We're missing some dudes. They are not bringing Mooch, I don't think. I'll double check with Lori. They can bring him, right? The casino can't be on the casino floor. He would be at Casino Quest or at the dealer training center with us. But the person, and it would not be Mooch for sure, because Mooch is not old enough to travel. Mooch is still a pup. So it would be a different service animal. It's ready to go. And they were going to basically do it and say, let's give this service animal an airplane ride. Let's put him on an airplane and get him some experience with the stress. Because now they can't drug the dogs, right? The dogs have to be awake the whole time. Give him that experience as part of his training. The person who trains the dog, though, is having some family health issues. And may not be able to attend because they're dealing with other things. So there's a possibility that person can't come. My guess is they're not going to come, which is unfortunate. We'll have some video. Lori's bringing video of Mooch's training. So on our session in the morning, we're gonna show some video of Mooch doing his stuff, and we'll get to talk to the trainer that's training him and get to ask questions and all that kind of stuff. And and again, just like last year, my goal this year, or our goal as collective, is to raise 50, right? We want to raise 50K because that's what it takes to raise a dog, right? Here's what it's going to do. If we raise the 50, it's another new dog. And again, we get to name the dog. And the way that dogs get named is you find a service member who's been KIA or no longer with us for some other reason. And given their service record, they'll name the dog after the service person. We have the ability to do that if we raise enough money. Okay. If we don't raise enough money to buy a new dog this year, and again, it's 50. If we only get, let's say we get 20. Well, last year we raised 30. We'll take the 20 from this year and give it to Mooch, and we'll have Mooch finish out. Well, that'll completely fund his full training. That's what the plan will be. So we either make enough money to do another dog, a second one, or we finish off Mooch's 50 from last year. So ideally we can have a second dog and we can at least purchase 2 dogs and have them kind of run through it. That's the plan. Mark, absolutely not. I am not doing this. I didn't even know that NASCAR was in Vegas this year. I haven't followed NASCAR for I used to follow it pretty religiously. I haven't followed it for a while. Used to be that this time, the last 3 races, Vegas wasn't one of them, right? Used to end in Homestead. And I thought that was the same thing. And I'm like, hey, let's just go it. Let's just go pick a weekend that's not F1 like we did last year. I literally went and picked a Saturday on the map, and that's the weekend. Didn't even look at the calendar. My fault. Next year, no way. Next year, we will find a clean weekend to do it. And hopefully by next year, I'll have a condo or something, and I'll be living there or half the time, and it'll be so much easier next year. This year has been kind of a mess getting rooms for everybody. The prices are super high. Flights in are high. There's no places to play because the tables are going to all be $25. You know what I mean? It's going to be a rough weekend for us players. It is what it is, right? It's not about us. It's about the charity. That's how I'm looking at it. It's about the charity, not about us. I got to keep reminding myself that as long as we're there, and if you can't be there, that's fine. Stay home, enjoy the show. Whatever you were going to pay for a room, whatever you were going to bet on the table, give it to the veterans. That's going to be my message here. If you couldn't afford to come, and I get it if you can't, take that money you were going to do for the event and make a donation out of it. That's going to be the message this year. Next year, it'll be a bigger meetup, right? Next year, it'll be a bigger meetup. We'll try and get it to be where it's a AZ's got 50 people coming the week before. You know what I mean? And the Casino Tears crew's got a bunch of folks coming the weekend after. We're right in the middle of this thing. We just got to be a little more synchronous next year. And again, I take full ownership of that. I did a bad job of picking a day. I did a bad job of getting rooms. I did a bad job of a lot of things logistically. We're going to do an amazing job of the show. I've come to realize that my strength is not in that part of it. My strength is in the show part of it and getting all that together. It's not in the early logistics. And you realize when you're 50 where you're good and where you're bad. This is where I'm bad, and I have to get better at getting people in place early that are good at that shit to help me through it, right? And it's just me being, time getting away from me. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I have I own all the mistakes for this year. So thanks for calling that out and making me feel like crap, Mark. Whatever. It's okay though. It's okay. What else? What else do we have? Ian says no way. I'm not sure what. Is that about the Hawks? I'm worried about the Hawks. I'm worried about them this weekend because I think the defense, again, go back to your comment earlier. We own the Lions. He said, we own the Lions. We do, but our defense, although it's playing really, really good. Matter of fact, I picked our defense in fantasy because I knew they were going to be really solid. I had a feeling they're going to be super solid. I have a feeling they're going to be ball hawks and get some picks, but missing Murphy, missing Leonard Williams. We've got some guys out and I'm worried about the run, frankly. So hopefully we can stay in there. I'm not worried about the offense scoring points. The offense will score points. I hope the defense can hold up missing the guys we're missing. So, you have an item to contribute. Okay. Let's hear about that more. Let's see. I also got a note, by the way, from Jeremy. I haven't read his note yet. So let's read it. Let's find out what Jeremy said together, shall we? I have Jeremy slated to be there. Let's see. He says, he's on a cruise right now. He's working on a hotel room. If he gets the room, he'll join me. If not, he'll know Monday. And the doctor responded, he can't find the footage that they did with, this is the doctor that did the dice control shooting arm. They can't find the video footage, I guess. I asked him for that. He gave my email. He's going to connect us both. I want to have that PhD guy look at my throw, right? And I said this before, I don't consider myself a real dice influencer. I really don't. You saw from this morning, if you watch my morning show, I burned $40,000 trying to chase down a freaking number, right? I don't consider myself there yet. However, when I look at the throws under slow motion, all the things that I say are possible, you'll see they're possible. Not on every throw by any means, but there are throws where the spin stays all the way through. Contact, back wall, contact, and it's still going, right? The physics of that throw work. I just can't make it. I can't pull it off, right? But I want him to look at that under slow-mo, and I want to get his analysis. He's an actual physicist, right? Let's get his look at it and see what he thinks if I'm full of shit or not, right? Or if he says, oh my God, there's something to that, but you can't actually do it. And I think that's where I land on the whole thing, right? I think it's really cool. It looks awesome under slow-mo. It looks really cool when it works, and yay for John. But I can't do it. I cannot pull that throw off more than once out of 100 throw. That's the thing, right? And I think it's fun to try and it's cool to see. And it's like, I love to be able to go, got one, right? And be able to, say, yes, the physics can work. It's not always a train wreck. But, I just want to see what he has to say. I want to see what somebody looks at it under slow-mo, like actually says, like, yeah, you're getting lucky here, and that's fine. So anyway, I want to get with him. So Jeremy's going to hook us up. I'll find a way to get Jeremy a place to stay so he can be there for Craft for the Cure. I want him on there on Sunday if he can do it, because Sunday I have a session planned for him to talk about YouTubing and community building. And I want Ian part of that because Ian's very good at this, building community and getting people excited. I think that'd be a great little round table that we could have. And 10 Ton's going to be there and some other guys will be there too that are into this kind of thing. So we can talk to somebody who actually knows and has built a huge following. So that'll be cool. John Pond wants to know if I'll create a playbook on how to properly play the ATS according to table limits. Can totally do that. I would love to work on something like that, because there are a lot of ways to, quote unquote, I hate to say the word attack, but attack it, or at least play it properly, given bankrolls. I think we should do that. We should actually maybe do it. And I still think it's a bad play for the average person for the reasons stated before. I've shown you the math on it, right? But if you can find ways to fund it, and even I've seen laddering with it, even small ladders going 555, 666, 777, 888, a small ladder actually is interesting when you back those things up. I've done it in Windcrafts a few times, and you're like, wow, that actually covers up some of the early bleed when it finally does hit later on. So Interesting stuff, right? Because the extra buck pays the 150. That extra dollar, extra dollar, extra dollar, extra dollar, those things actually, that extra 150, 175 covers a lot of earlier losses as they hit. It's an interesting way to look at it. So we should analyze it and see just how much juice we can get from different come out plays and that kind of thing. So I think it's a great idea. That's a great, I'm going to bookmark that comment, and we'll find a way to spend some more time on it. I think it's, like I said, for my show here, we get into things to talk about. I'm kind of done talking about crap strategies. I only play a handful of ways, right? I've got some dark side plays that I really enjoy. I've got some hybrid plays that I really enjoy. I got a couple of right side plays that I really enjoy. I have ways of those 5 or 6 ways. Some are good for grinding. Some are good for home running. Some are good for paychecking. That's it. I've given them all. I'm going to refilm the videos one time and say, here's the 6 things I do. That's it. But things like analyzing the HES to death, fun. That's a great use of our time on this show to kind of hammer some of this crap out and get guys who are, into it, part of it, right? I don't want to just, sit here and be the kibosher, right? Let's have some fun. So anyway, that's it. I'm out, guys. It's 8:45. My voice is going cracky for some reason. So, anyway, we'll talk Monday. Hopefully Monday, I have another Craps for the Cure update with more locked in schedules and some other things. So, with that said, y'all, you'll have a great weekend. Love every one of you. God bless all of you. Pray for the folks in the Southeast, please. The Atlanta, Florida, Tennessee, even South Carolina. They're all got hammered this week, right? Pray for them, and let's hope that everything works out well. In the meantime, as Ian Olson says, go Hawks. God bless everyone. I'll see you Monday. Bye.